yeah. I think like 9 times out of 10, if you do like that joke like that, some dude will definitely laugh.
Yeah, and that's why girls are like superior, like because like we laugh at like farts. So,
They are more mature. They really are.
Yeah.
I mean that's very clear. Like I'm not gonna say their humor is more sophisticated because funny's funny, but like
Yeah, no, just being as like overall.
oh no, yeah,
they're just way smarter
they'll
than
like
us.
turn, they'll like sneer at it a little bit.
Yeah.
Ew. No, we don't. Fuck you, Derek. Your weird farts.
Weird sounding farts.
All right. Are we rolling?
Yeah.
We're rolling now?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna try this. I don't know. What's up? It's Millennial Stoner, guys. What the fuck's up? My name is Joe Winchell. I am the Millennial Stoner. I'm very happy to see. I'm not seeing anybody, but I'm happy for everybody that's tuning in right now, listening right now on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher, because we are newly on all those platforms right now. So check us out. I had a great. As we speak right now, the episode with Dom LaMarca's out. I had a lot of fun doing that, so definitely go check out the Dom LaMarca episode. But right now, forget Dom LaMarca. All right, he's a nice guy, but he's old news. I got somebody else here. Sorry, Dom, I think you're a nice guy, but like, fuck off. No, I'm kidding. My guest today, dude, please put your hands together, non-existent audience, for Rene Fuentes.
Yes,
Is that how you say your last name?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What's up, man? Thanks for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me. In preparation, I was listening to a couple previous episodes, and I listened to the Dom episode
Yeah, it was a lot of
on the
fun.
way here today. And I just think it's funny how, like, the last episode, it started with Dom talking about how, like, an excerpt from a previous episode made him cry because
Now
of
this
how
one's gonna make him
positive.
cry.
Yeah, now we're just like, yo, fuck you, Dom.
It'll still make him cry.
Yeah.
No, much love for Dom LaMarca. That was a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, shout out Dom.
Shout out Dom. He's like, I just made a point on. I mean, we might just talk about Dom for a little bit. This will be weird, but I remember I made a point to say that I'm like, besides like Billy Geyer, I don't know anybody that gets more love. Like everybody's just like, oh, Dom's the best.
Dom's like a puppy. He's like a puppy. That's
I know,
just the
it
best
really
way to put
is.
it. Yeah.
And his intentions are like, it's like I look at him, I'm like, oh, you child.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing in this dirty business? Like.
Nah, I definitely have. It's been a couple. It's crazy to think how like time works, but it's been a couple of years. I've definitely seen the evolution of Dom, and it's
he's
from
where he started. I've seen some of it. Like I did like a weird Broadway show with him, and he like went and barked. I remember.
It's fun. Yeah,
I was like, you don't even have flyers to hang out. I was like, this guy's dedicated. Like the dedication's there. And then like I saw his stuff, and I remember he did a joke about like getting slimed on Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny, so I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah,
he
he's
made a '90s reference.
He's the first person to beat me in a roast battle too.
He beat you?
Yeah, he beat me in a roast battle. Yeah, it was actually I think I got a Instagram memory. I think it was almost a year ago from today. We had that roast. We had a Big Chuckles versus Uplifted roast battle.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Dude, I was supposed to do one of those, but then the show got canceled. I remember. I was supposed to. Me and Mike Fails.
yeah.
This is like pre-pandemic.
Yeah, no, the roast room at Illwave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was going to be me and Mike Fails, and then like it's just
something. I don't think it got canceled. I think one of you canceled. or
No,
something.
Mike canceled.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. What the fuck, Mike?
I love him. He'll be on again. When he comes back on, he's like, I'll do it. But yeah, and speaking of which, you produce shows. I know we love talking about Dom, but you're the guest.
Yeah, fuck Dom.
Fuck
Yeah.
Dom. We're talking about Rene right now. I know you produce shows and everything, but let's just start. How old are you?
I'm 27. I just turned 27.
You just turned 27. And
Yeah.
how long have you been doing comedy?
About 4 years. I started when I was 23.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to do comedy? Like, was it like, did someone, it could be like, literally your answer could be like, someone just suggested it to me and here I am. But like, some people have a story.
Not necessarily. I was just at a point where I just needed something.
Like an outlet?
I would say so. I was like 23, just out of a relationship thing.
Oh, okay.
And then a friend of mine asked me to take a comedy class with her, and we ended up going to Governor's, and and then it kind of took off from there.
Yeah, it's just that's literally it though. That's it's because
when I was doing the class, I had met somebody who introduced me to the like the Illwave Studios that I end up having, and that was during shows at.
Oh yeah, I never been there, but I saw.
Yeah, so it was like it was really cool because it was like a crazy domino effect. Like if I never would have went to that class, I would have met someone who introduced me to that place, and I had that place for like 3 years.
You know, there's like a weird domino effect that I think happens with most people that start comedy, or like exactly what you're describing. Like you because of this happens, and it's all like it's bizarre when you really look at it. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when I started it, or I guess I started doing the class, I ended up just like really enjoying it. Not that I was great when I first started, but like I did well when I first started.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, let me keep going. I always like to think that if I would have ate a dick like my first time, I would have been like, all right, this isn't for me.
Really? I mean, yeah, I did. I talked about the Tom Crescenzo when Tom was on. We were talking about bombing, and I was like, I remember like.
No, I've definitely bombed a bunch of times, but like, yeah.
Yeah, but that first, like in that stretch, you were like, like I hope it didn't happen then, because it happened like right away. Like I had like 3 good sets, and then I bombed, and I was gonna quit comedy, and then I woke up the next day and just kept doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you didn't get discouraged.
Yeah, no, it was then I stuck with it. Then I think like when I first started doing stand up, pretty soon thereafter I started producing shows. Like I was pretty like I jumped in like pretty early on.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Like what made you just, because a lot of people will like they'll be doing it for a while and then they do like I'll produce, but you kind of just like you did it for like 3 years and then started producing, right? Like that was the time frame, or like 2 years?
No, I started doing it. I did the comedy class in July, and then I drew my first show December.
Really? I'm sorry. I thought it was a lot longer than that. I don't know why.
3 months, like 3 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what?
You had this. You had the space.
Not at the time. So pretty much when I started doing stand up, I did like the open mics that was going on.
Okay.
And at the time, like 3-4 years ago, there wasn't as many like produced shows as there are now.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of people are throwing shows now, which is great. But I kind of saw like something like a lack thereof, especially like by like someone that's like wasn't white, pretty much. That's the best way to put it.
You're not wrong.
I didn't see myself out there enough, so I wanted to be that something.
I agree with that.
So I hit up one of my buddies. Shout out white people, by the way.
That's like my friend Alfred always says. Every time I see my friend Alfred's Filipino, and every time I go, like I'll be hanging out with him, I'm like, I gotta go do a show, and then he'll be like, oh, who's on tonight? 5 white guys, and I go, yep.
I think that's more prevalent in Long Island, but definitely not in the city. Like city's a lot more
much different. Yeah,
I live in Brooklyn now. I do a lot more stuff out there these days. But Long Island comedy is my roots. But
gotta love it.
Yeah, but when I had first started doing when I wanted to do my first show, I hit up like my buddy Fritz, who I went to high school with.
Okay.
He was a rapper. He was a really good rapper.
Was his like rapper name Fritz?
No, it's just his nickname. We call him.
That's
but
awesome.
like,
It's just a cool name.
Yeah, no, it's like for Cheryl, so it's Fritz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. So back then it was maple syrup. And
it was his nickname. Come on, I can't just glide past that.
Rap name. You'd have to ask him. You have to have him on.
You just met him. Wait, you met him as Maple Syrup?
No, I met him as Frisk. I went to high school with him, and he was like a grade above me. And then he was always really good at rapping. Like he was just like out of anyone I knew who did it, he was just the best one. So I hit him up. We weren't like super cool either. Like we were cool. Like, we definitely were in Sipes together, but we weren't like close.
Oh, you weren't like tight.
Okay. Yeah, yes. But I hit him up randomly, like maybe like a month or two into doing stand up, and I was like, "Yo, would you want to throw like a music comedy show, like a comedy hip hop show?" And he was just like, "Yeah." And then like we didn't speak for like 3-4 months like after that conversation, and then I found the place. I found Illwave. At the time, it wasn't even called that. It was called something else. Like it was just like another operation.
Okay.
And we drew our first show there in like December. It was like I think it was like December 23rd. It was like 2 days before Christmas. It was.
That's usually a tough night for some people. That's cool.
No, and it was great. Like we had it packed out. It was better than I ever could have imagined it to be.
Oh man.
I had like no expectations. Like I wasn't the person who threw like gatherings and like I wasn't that guy. So like,
But you did.
Yeah,
so,
no, but to put it like for, I guess, like my first endeavor to put it like put a show together and it be like well received and like a lot of people came out, like that was like awesome.
I mean, that must have put a fucking good feeling in your stomach. Man.
Oh yeah, there's no better feeling. That's why I produced a lot. I think I stick with it just because like, there's no better feeling than like pulling the job off and like, you know, like a job well done.
And you
like,
seem to I see you produce quite a few shows, so you seem to have a knack for it and everything. Like when you're doing that, like when you are like producing a show, like I mean, is your concern? Is your concern putting butts in seats? Is your concern?
That's always the, you know, you want to, yeah, that's what makes it like just lit. I mean, you can definitely have a great show, and I've had great shows with like, you know, smaller crowds.
Yeah.
I've had like awesome shows. I like shows that like 100 people came to. Like I've had shows that like 3 people came to.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's, you know, there's no better, you know, like bombing on stage is like bad, like it sucks when you have like a bomb on stage, but when you're like a producer and you bomb a show, like in the show
like
just
nobody
sucks.
shows up to your show.
Yeah, the show just sucks. That's like a whole different, because like when you're bombing as a stand-up,
because you represent everything.
Yeah, like it's your fault. Like it's your, like it's your
it's
fault.
It's just my fault. Like
yeah,
it's like you know,
you're supposed to do a good job and you did it. Like
yeah, I mean you are supposed to.
It happens. That definitely has happened.
What happened? Why isn't there a crowd? I was supposed to do a good job and I didn't.
Yeah,
like, that's all it is. Oh
yeah,
shit!
Like,
I didn't
take
think about
some
that.
accountability for it.
You're right though, because even like, especially when you're as a performer, when you don't do it for a while, like you're just you're either there's a crowd or
I
you're
forgot
not.
who put it this way. I don't remember who put it this way, but it's like when you bomb as producer, like you're bombing for like the whole night.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's like you represent your face is on the poster, like on the top of the poster, like holding the title card like this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
and I've definitely had a lot of up and downs with like throwing shows, and like I've thrown some great shows, and I've thrown some like shows that could have been better. Is
there any show that you threw that you thought like this is gonna, like you just were like, no, there's gonna be 1 million people there, and just like it didn't turn out?
The first time I drew the first, I guess, it was this show I had. It was called Doomsday.
Oh, that's a great title.
It was called Doomsday, and dude, I wish I could pull up like the video for it.
Yeah.
But I had like a whole like video trailer.
Was this at your venue?
Huh?
Was this at your venue?
Yeah. So like, all right. So when I drew the first show in December, my first show, the show was called the Hi Mom Show. Like it was like HIGH Hi.
Oh, like
Mom.
Hi Mom.
Hi Mom, like Hi Mom, but like HIGH, like hi, and then Mom was MOM, Mind Over Matter.
Nice.
That's what it stood for. So it was a Hi Mom. It was a Hi Mom show.
Oh, that's some good fucking cool. Keep going. This is great.
So
really
I drew 3 shows, and like 3 Hi Mom shows, like back to back to back. The first one December, and then I drew one like I think like February, and then I drew a 421, and all 3 shows were like bangers. Like I think the second show, like I think like 100 people came to that one, and like it was just like standing room. Like it was, you've been in the place before, way back in the day, like. It was not built for that many people.
It was like a small, like, it was
crazy. Like,
it reminds me, like, you're in Brooklyn. You ever been to any of those, like, weird city spots where you're like, we're doing comedy here, and you're like, okay. Like, but it was, like, cool in that aspect.
Yeah, it was like,
cool.
It was a speakeasy.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
It was just a speakeasy. We built a stage there, and it was just it was a vibe.
That's actually a step up from most places like that. You at least had some kind of a stage.
But anyway, I threw like 3 Hi Mom shows.
Okay.
And all 3 of those shows were just bangers, like fucking huge successes.
So you had like a little bit of an ego.
Yo, like I was walking around like I had like a 12-foot dick. Like I was just like,
I'm the greatest producer on Long Island.
Yeah, I'm the man. Like,
yo, fuck everybody it me. Like
it literally, like not entirely, but
no,
like
no,
kind of.
I'm not saying that, but like I would, like I'd walk around with so much confidence. Like,
yeah, no, and like I said, like
3 sold out shows, 100 people. I'm like, yeah,
first like 3 for 3, like let's go. And then
dude, they'll probably be calling me for an interview on MTV in a couple of years.
not that bad, but like okay. I was definitely feeling myself.
Yeah, okay.
And I drew this show called Doomsday, and a pretty sick lineup. Actually,
a great title.
One of my current room. This is like 3 years ago, but my current roommate now was on this show back then, and my boy Chocolate Brown, who I throw the Lost Slider shows with. But yeah, so I drew Doomsday, and like no one came, but this one dude who was on the show, a rapper, this dude Grass, who's a good guy. he brought like 20 people with him.
Okay.
So he like saved the show. But all these 20, he was like the worst 20 people you could ever bring to a show ever.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Because they were all just there for him, so they didn't give a shit about anything else. And it was almost like I would have rather that they just weren't there.
Oh man, that does happen sometimes where it's like, oh, I brought like 10 people, and you're like,
Yeah,
yes,
and
and all of a sudden you're like, who are the assholes that are talking? And they're like, well,
Yeah.
that's the 10 people that you brought.
Yeah, and that was just the first time where like I felt like I failed throwing a show. Like I was just like, oh,
That
no
must
one
have sucked.
came.
That was-
And the worst part was like my boy Chocolate went up at the end, and Chocolate's just fucking amazing. And like the dude who bought all the people, he went before, so when they were done, like 90% of the people like got up and left, even though like there was still like one more guy.
Oh,
so like
that's the most disheartening thing is just like looking at him, like because all the comedians are like either on the side and everything, and they're just like, no, like
nah, but dude's a professional. So Chocolate, I remember Chocolate just he was with he had like a band called Chicken Over Rice at the time, and
That's awesome.
had like a
Awesome
keyboard,
fucking name. I'm
keyboardist, bass, like they were getting funky. So like they were just dope, and they as they just kept going. And they just started and kept going, and then like half the people ended up just like, yo, this is actually kind of, and they came back. But that was the first time where like throwing a show didn't make me feel good. Like I was just like, this sucked.
Yeah, I mean, it must have, because especially you're coming off of that run, like
Yeah, like I said, and it was a well-needed like kickback
that's
to
the same
reality.
as bombing on stage. Like that's you have like
Yeah,
three
but it was
good
like
shows.
it was like for the whole night, you know.
Because it just kept going. Because you only have to go up there for 5, 10, 15, however many minutes you're
Yeah.
up there, but you're just sitting there like, it's got my name on it. God damn it! Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Oh
yeah,
man,
no, that was the first time where I felt like that was not good.
did you get out? Did you have like the moment where you're like, I'm gonna quit, but got out of it?
Not then. I was just like
just rolled it into
kept
the next
going.
show?
You know, because at the time, I when I was doing Ill Wave, like we had to pay rent there and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So a lot of we just kind of like that's how we made the bread at the place. We just kept throwing shows. And,
Which that makes sense.
Yeah. So like I couldn't like just stop because like my ego hurt. Like I was just like, yo, rent you on the
That's
first.
a good mentality to have because
Yeah.
that's the right call. If you
Yeah,
had
and we
quit
drew
then-
we drew like mad shows there, and
Yeah.
not only that, but like people came to us and they drew like shows there too. So it was
it's
just
like a little underground sort of space, right?
yeah, it was like a venue space for like a lot of artists at
An
a
artist space.
time. Yeah, and then like a lot of people drew shows there, like DJs drew shows there.
Dude, you definitely seem like a guy that would run like some kind of artist collective in like fucking Franklin Square or some
Yeah,
shit.
but like to like start out the gate doing that.
Yeah,
you know.
that's ambition. I mean, that's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. Good for you.
Yeah, so
Most people sit there and they're like, "I'll produce eventually." It's like,
Yeah,
no,
but
just do it.
I also felt like that kind of put me in like a producer bubble where like I kind of was slacking on like the actual stand-up part. Like I was always like
that was my next question.
I was always like not bad. Like I always did well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when it mattered, but I felt like I was kind of like losing focus on like the bigger picture in that sense. Like
Yeah.
I was like and I'm kind of grateful for that time period because it kind of like it taught me like it's like the business side of everything, like how to
which
like,
a lot of people don't know.
yeah, like how to like like generate money doing this shit.
Yeah,
And then
I'm fucking figuring that
but
out.
then
now.
like I see
Trying
like,
to.
in this chapter of the journey I'm in now, I'm more focused on like the craft and like just getting better at it.
I mean, that's good. I mean, that's isn't it? It's weird because a lot of it's consistency. And I was going to ask you, did you feel anything suffered when because you seem to be producing a lot of shows, and I would think.
No, for a while I wouldn't put myself on the show.
Oh, I wasn't even saying that.
Yeah, no, but I
yeah.
remember like I used to get a lot of shit for that from like some comics where just like, yeah, you're not going up, and I'm just like, nah, I'm just putting this shit together. So that's why.
Meanwhile, if you went on stage, you'd get shit for being a producer who puts himself on stage. It's a
maybe I
double-edged
don't.
sword.
Yeah. But yeah. So I wasn't doing that for a while.
Okay.
But I realized that like I was like hindering myself by doing
So
that.
you felt
sometimes
something was
too.
lacking in your.
Yeah.
in
So
your
now like the Lost Slider shows that I throw now, I host all of them.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love hosting.
Yeah. Hosting is cool.
Hosting's an
It's a
opportunity.
different muscle.
Yeah, it's a different muscle. It gives you an opportunity to try some shit, because you can do stuff in between if the opportunity presents itself. So if you got like a quick 1-minute bit or like a quick 30-second joke, you can throw it out there just to try it.
Yeah.
And you're kind of forced to do crowd work with it because you are the host, so
Yeah.
you're kind of. That's,
And I guess like I throw a show it's monthly, so at least I'm guaranteed like one show a month at least,
Right.
and it makes sometimes I'll have a lot of repeat people come because the show's always different. It's never the same people. Like I'm hosting it with my my buddy Chocolate, and but it's always a different lineup. So like, you know, sometimes you do get like a lot of repeat people that come.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to like just do the same thing every time. I mean, sometimes that's just like it's gonna happen. You're gonna say the same thing, you know, same jokes.
Yeah, that's how you work.
But like
on
I at least
stuff.
want to like have like a couple new things, so it's not like the exact same thing.
I think it's like I always, if I have something new, I always like put something like old around it, or something that I know works at least.
Yeah.
You know, but that's cool, man. I mean, from as a you know, from the performance side of it, like just as a comedian, like, when you took the class, you know, like as far as writing goes, like what do you do? Do you write everything out?
Yeah,
you know,
no, my
stream of consciousness and then try to perform it written word, or what's your style?
I'm the notebook guy. I always
notebook guy?
Yeah, I'm a notebook guy.
Okay.
And I always bring my notebook to any show I'm on, and like before I go on, I'm like super not social. Like if you
I noticed that, and I never took. I want you to know, I never took offense to that.
Yeah.
Because I came from theater, so it was kind of like I was used to.
Because like
guys
I'm
that
in
did
game mode, bro. I'm fucking like mama
You
mentality.
go into like a little moment. Is that your thing?
Yeah, no, because you know it's like you gotta. I feel like, but I get into like in my head, not in a bad way, but like I write out like all the jokes all over. It helps me remember it and not need to like
Word for word, and you say it as it's on the paper.
No, I learned not to do that because I would like trip on myself trying to remember. But if I like don't say like one word, I say like another similar word in my mind, I'd be like, I fucked up the joke, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like keep going, and like don't like they don't know you. They don't know what's written on the notebook. They just
I agree with that. Yeah.
So like that was something. I had to
they don't
get
know
out
what you're writing down. Isn't that so? When you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, like like
you know,
such
so,
a good piece of advice.
So I'm always in my head. I'm super antisocial with that. If when I first get to a show, and then once I go up, I'm like, all right, let's smoke joints and drink.
Yeah. I know you're usually pretty.
Yeah.
But that's like because that was the thing. Like the few shows I did with you, like early on, like you would like afterwards. I remember like I would see you and I'm like, I don't know, like, because I'm weird enough. I don't know how to say hi to people. So if I see somebody new, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I'm going to stand here.
Did you do a JJ show?
No, I didn't do a JJ show, but I went to a JJ show.
Okay.
And I was like afraid, but it didn't work out because I was afraid to talk to anybody because I was fucking terrified. Because I knew who you were before I actually met you. Because I'd been.
That's comedy's like that though.
Yeah. What's that?
Comedy's like that though. Like mad people that you're just like friends with on Facebook, and then you go to city open mics, and you're just like, I know everything about you. Like,
yeah, exactly. About it. Yeah, and I'm like,
but I don't know you. Never met you before.
Yeah, go up to him and say hi. No, I don't even know that. I'm terrified.
I mean, things are only as weird as you make it. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing because I have like a whole like I have a whole like anxiety problem with. I'm always afraid I'm gonna say something fucking idiotic. Which fuck what people think of me. I have to learn to like have that mentality. But I'm just so afraid of like mortifying myself in front of somebody or like tripping my words or something.
Yeah, I think you just gotta accept that you are gonna say something idiotic, and you just gotta be like, you're gonna love me for it. Yeah, recover from it, make a joke, and move on. Yeah, or some shit like that. But and like as far as your material goes, I mean, like some people tell stories, some people do quick stuff. They do like they do one-liners. I mean, there's people run a gamut. Like, what's like, what is it that you do? What is it like? Do you feel you're a storyteller? Not quite. I like to think I'm more. I don't know, because as I've evolved in stand-up more, I've a lot of my more recent stuff has been like stemmed from like personal things. Yeah. Because when I first started, it's just like, set up punchline joke. Punchline, blah, 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 pussy. Joke about, shit. Like, nothing or whatever like that. But now I'm getting, like, more personal, talking about, like, stuff from, like, my actual life. Yeah. So, I feel like not quite a storyteller, but, like, I think I've evolved from just, like, set up punchline. Yeah. I mean, I think that's, like a spot that when people get to, it's like you look at some of the stuff. Like, I remember thinking that same thing, like, recently, actually, to be fair. And, like, I remember, like, not liking some of my old jokes because I feel like they weren't developed enough. Did you feel like that when you, like, with some of your material now that maybe look at your old material as, like, even though it works, because you've worked on it and everything, and it works, but because it's not this, I think sometimes material even takes like years to like to really finalize.
Yeah.
Because I've had like older jokes that when I would say when I first started, and then now I would still use like maybe something from that, but I don't tell it the same way because like I've just learned better ways to like incorporate it into a set. Like once I don't think you're ever really done with a bit.
That's really good. Wow, you're smart. That's true. That's right. It's always kind of evolving, and you're playing around with it,
That's why I rewrite it a lot. Like I write a lot because every time you write it in like you might think of a new way to phrase it.
And I do something similar. The visualization of seeing it cements it in my brain, like it's real now.
Yeah.
That's also a thing that I need. Like, I've said 1,000 times. There's a million jokes. Just recently, it was something I thought of, and I woke up, and I'm like, fuck. I should have wrote that down.
And I'm the worst with that too. I feel like I'm just like I feel like I have like the most brilliant idea
or
ever,
at least,
and then like I just don't even remember it in like 10 minutes. I'm just like, fuck, what was it?
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. And I pulled over on the side of the road once. But the stuff I stop and pull over to write, I'm like, this sucks later on. Like, why didn't I remember the joke I forgot was the good joke?
Yeah, because you try to write like 5 like words, like just like a phrase from like the general idea to remember it later. Then you read it later and you're just like, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say.
Oh man, I could show you. I have an old notebook somewhere where I did that. I was like, I just need to write like horse, and like that'll trigger this memory. And I had a bunch of stuff, and I was going through like the little notes that I wrote, and one of the things just said 3 times, my dead friend, my dead friend, my dead friend, and I circled it, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
You're just like on acid, just
but
like,
no, but yeah, like that's the only thing.
nightmare.
But like I circled it and I wrote it 3 times, and I was just like, I was trying to invoke something. I'm like, oh, I'll write it like this, and that'll trigger some fucking like CIA like hidden memory. But yeah, like I've learned that even if I think it sucks, write it down.
Yeah.
Just write it down, because you never know what's gonna work out in the long run or whatever the fuck.
Or just like figuring out like I guess like my thing was just kind of sometimes I'm a little too wordy. So like just finding ways to like say like get to the point faster.
Yeah, I'm learning. Again, I know it. You ever do that thing where you're up there and all of a sudden you're being too wordy, but for some reason you can't fucking stop being wordy?
Yeah.
I hate that. I did that on a mic recently. I was figuring something out. I'm like, I just have to not talk as much. Like,
yeah, sometimes less is more.
Yeah, I mean, it's all, and then you get to build these larger bits later on where they're the more intricate, but even those have jokes inside of jokes and everything like that.
Yeah, recently, like a lot of my like older stuff, or like when I write newer stuff, they kind of go hand in hand with like an older joke.
Yeah.
So I've been finding ways to like kind of combine it into making it like one big joke, but like kind of like hitting each point from the original joke.
Yeah. I understand.
So it's almost like when I like kind of put my set together these days, it's like I'm kind of making it like a puzzle. Or
I really didn't. I completely forgot I had sunglasses on this whole time. I was like, what? Oh shit. I'm sorry, dude. I was like, oh no, he thinks I hate him.
Not at all. I just saw you were high. You forgot to take them off.
No, that's literally what happened. I'm sorry, but I was listening to you. I felt like a dick.
Yeah, that's bad.
So funny. Go ahead, man.
That's hilarious. What was the question?
Fuck. I derailed it. I was having such a pleasant conversation with you about material. We were talking about material and writing it. If we can't get back on track, throw up that Alex technical difficulties thing. No, we were talking about material. You were talking about your older stuff.
Yeah, just put it, I guess, things coming full circle.
Yeah, it's things coming full circle and whatnot. Yeah, so, fuck, I had my next question lined up, and then I realized I had the sunglasses on. God damn it. Well, this episode is brought to you by weed. Short-term memory loss. And
I think you should just have it on for us, the interview.
The rest of it, no. I can't now. I took it off. I made a big deal. We're literally only talking about this now. This is this is now the sunglasses episode.
If you put it on, it'll show insecurity about you thinking that you should have kept it on.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
What would Joe Rogan do? No, I'm kidding. But as on the lines of material and everything like that, and like how you write and all that shit. I mean, like, so I feel like I hear a lot that like people say that like especially when you first start out doing comedy, you emulate like your favorite comedian or whatever. Did you felt that when you started out, you were like not reflecting on that, because sometimes you don't realize it, and then you reflect on it like, oh, I was doing so and so. Like not ripping their material off, but kind of doing their like style of comedy, not like making it your own, not like being yourself. Like you said, now you're writing a lot more stuff, like personal stuff. So you're evolving. That means you said you are evolving. So do you feel like you mimicked anybody like as a crutch early on?
Not necessarily, because like I guess my favorite comics, like I could never do what they did do. So like I was never even like an attempt to like try, you know.
Oh, it makes sense. Who's your favorite comics? That's one of my favorite questions.
It's not even like, I guess because like I said, I'm more like punchline. Earlier on, I was more set up punchline. Like growing up, I like people like John Leguizamo and like the one man show.
I saw his one man show and
the which one?
Well, all of them. Well,
just the one.
Not all of them, but I saw Sexaholic live. Not Sexaholic, Ghetto Clown live. I went and saw Ghetto Clown Manhattan.
That was back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago, but I was like in my 20s when that came out.
Yeah, no, I was more a fan of like the Freak, and I think that
Freak, Sexaholic, was that Mondo Trasho? What was the?
I don't remember that one. But
I had the book with all of the stuff in it. Yeah, and that to me was like.
But I had one of his audiobooks too. But like I said, like
sorry, go ahead.
he's doing like a whole one man show. So like even though I liked
it's not like real stand up, but he does like stand up within it.
Yeah,
but it's got like
but like my punchline setups are like nothing like that. So like I never really
and you don't do like if you went up there and did characters and shit. Like
exactly.
Like if you said to me right now, is like I used to mimic John Leguizamo, and we brought up a tape of you doing like your TT and shit like that. Yeah, like I'd be like, holy shit, this doesn't seem like you at all. Like,
yeah, no,
but that was kind of like that's someone that you like respected and liked and everything.
I mean, yeah, as far as like performance, something like stand up, like I guess that got me more into it.
Yeah.
But then
that's performance, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it was, but yeah, I guess I don't know if that's more like a one man show.
That's
or
one
like,
man show. I would say definitely, because he does like characters. He has like costume changes throughout it and everything like that.
Yeah, no, it's a whole thing.
It's like a play, but it's cool. It's really cool. Like who else? Anybody else that you like? Or I mean, obscure, whatever. I don't care. People have talked on here about like European comedians or whatever the fuck.
I guess like just the classic answers. Everyone always loved like Chappelle or like Patrice or like I actually was a really bigger like Chris Rock fan growing up. Like I used to love
Bigger Blacker came out. I remember hearing about that in school. Being like, you gotta watch this shit. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, holy shit, look at all the bad words he's saying. This is amazing.
Yeah, when I was like super younger and I didn't know any better, like I remember being like just like loving what was the dude with the puppets? Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham?
Yeah, I love Jeff Dunham.
I watched Jeff Dunham earlier.
I loved me some Jeff Dunham when I was like in like the 6th
He was all over Comedy Central.
Yeah, because he was like running that shit.
Yeah, he was Comedy Central. They're like, Jeff Dunham is the face of Comedy Central. So they
being like I guess liking like George Lopez. George Lopez
is good. I used to watch his specials all the time.
His TV show, the George Lopez show, is like one of like the best sitcoms. Like
I haven't watched it. Is it fun?
Honestly, I rewatched it like maybe like a year ago. Like during the pandemic, I rewatched like every episode.
I watched a couple sitcoms,
and it's like really fucking funny.
Yeah?
Like it's hilarious.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. The George Lopez, he has like two, but the George Lopez show is different.
It was like the one that like it plays on like Nick at Night probably. Like, these days.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. I like the stand up. He always made me laugh.
Yeah, no, George Lopez is the man. I think that's like one person who I definitely would love to meet. Like this.
I heard he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I mean, it would be hilarious if he was a dick, but like apparently he's a nice guy. So I mean, here's hoping. Like, but then again, they say not to meet your idols.
Yeah,
we'll see. I don't know. Like I'm always a nerd about stuff, but like. I guess my answer is the same as like most of the guys are like class. I always try to break it. Dom broke it down really. Bring up Dom again.
Motherfucker.
But he had a good question. He was like, "Who's your favorite?" He asked me who your favorite New York comedian is, because like I could go on. If you say comedian, I could go on about that for like.
Say people you know.
What personal people I know?
Yeah.
No, I mean like you said Long Island comedian. It's probably.
I'd say Long Island comedian.
Oh yeah, like New York. No, not somebody I know. Just people I know that operate out of New York. Like. There's like at least an East Coast comedian, because like someone like a Chris D'Elia, that's like an LA comedian, that's West Coast and everything. But like someone like Big J Okerson, who I mention every fucking episode, is, because it comes up,
Yeah.
but is like an East Coast. He works in New York and everything like that.
Yeah, and I'm a big like Andrew Schultz fan.
I love
Did you
Andrew
watch
Schultz. I fucking love Flagrant.
Did you watch the special?
No, I'm going to. That's my plan to do this week, probably tonight actually, when I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But
No,
I love Flagrant. I think
Yeah.
Flagrant fucking rules.
I drive for work, so like I'm always like sometimes I'm driving to Montauk. It's like a 2-hour trip there and a 2-hour trip back.
That's a trek.
Yeah, so I indulge in a lot of podcasts, and he's that
As you should.
Flagrant's definitely one of my favorite ones.
His buddy, what's his buddy that he has on? I think he's Pakistani or
Akash?
Yeah, he does that great bit about a poo.
Yeah, he's
And
all
you got
special
this, it
about
just
it.
reminded me of it because you got the Simpsons shirt on. And
Yeah,
I saw him do. It's like, what was wrong with the poo? Here's a brown man married to a beautiful brown woman, and he owns his own business, and he gets to rip off white people. What is wrong with this? Like, I was like, this is brilliant, man. But Schultz he does such different shit too, and he's got like that. His shit talking game is on a different level, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely one of like the my personal favorite comic like nowadays.
Yeah,
but
he's great. I love him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely like
and he's like
changing
a
the
modern
game.
guy.
Yeah, he's changing the game, and like everything he did with his new special about like just like taking it back from Netflix and like buying it back,
Yeah.
and then putting it out independently because he didn't want to cut jokes. Like that was
Yeah, I heard
like,
his interview. I think it was on Rogan. He talked
yeah,
about
it's
that.
like way more than like just like a comedy special. It's like a statement, about
Which,
like where we're at today with like the whole like free speech thing and like kind of just being able to joke about what you want,
Yeah,
without having to like water it down.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's the issues he ran in with Netflix.
Yeah, or he never allegedly he never said it like he never actually named the play. He just kept saying like the streamer, but I guess that's just because of like legality
he didn't name
reason.
it? Okay.
He just says a streamer, like he's like
Well,
I bought it back from
I mean, to be
but
fair,
obviously it's definitely Netflix.
but to be fair, like every streaming service now has like who doesn't have an hour special right now? Me and you, but like,
Yeah.
but like who doesn't have an hour special right now? And like. The observation that I've noticed from a lot, I do watch a lot of comedy. I think I'm going to stop because a lot of it's just not great. Like except for the guy.
I think what a special means nowadays just kind of doesn't. It's not the same anymore. Like you see the special, like you put the special out there just because you want people to see it, and then
it's
like
an audition tape.
yeah, when they come in your town, you're like, oh, I like that guy's special. I'm gonna go pay and to go see him live because then that's what that's the bread and butter. That's what you really want.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's fine. And there's people that have like there's. I think Joe DeRosa has a special out right now on YouTube. I think he's hilarious. Like there's Joe List. A lot of those guys. There's guys that are doing, but there's so much, and a lot of it is not like there's an hour special for some of these guys and girls, and it's really like 30 minutes of stuff that they've stretched into an hour.
Yeah.
So it's like not it's weird because it's like I said before. It's like
I feel like I have a hard time making it through like a whole one.
me too because I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not like fully. If you have an hour, like if you're a name, I'll sit down and watch it. I'm being really honest about this. Like at the Chappelle thing, like yeah, I'll sit down and watch Chappelle. It's Chappelle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether I like it or not, because he's got the name recognition, I'm gonna sit here for an hour. But if I don't know who you are and you have an Amazon special, like I'm probably gonna get bored like a 20 minutes in.
There's definitely some great ones out there, but like there's also like a lot of like not so great ones too. So
Like I
when
said,
you gotta
it's
like
just
sift through, you gotta sift through what's for you and what's not for you.
Yeah, I mean it's like if somebody
And even it's all subjective. Like what's good for you might not be.
Well, yeah, comedy's really subjective in general. Like I think, and the crowds, what people find funny, especially what people find funny in the moment, is so random sometimes. Like you don't know what the crowd's gonna react to sometimes.
Yeah.
And like there's like an interview someone talked. It was, this comedian Drew Michael was talking about how he was talking about tainted laughs. Which he was saying like he went up and then like he did really well and then somebody went up after him. And again, Dom talked about this, but like, the statement is that he went up, he thought he crushed, and then someone went up who he thought, in his opinion, wasn't as funny, and then he crushed, and he said these laughs are now tainted. Like, what is?
I think.
But like, you don't like, you're not like just because that's so. My point. That's what I mean. Like, comedy.
What do you mean by tainted? What do you mean by tainted?
He said because he doesn't deem this person that followed him as funny as him. That these laughs are tainted, and this is I have to now change the game up because laughs are tainted. But I'm like, you can't predict.
Sounds like you're just being kind of douchey.
Isn't it gonna sound pompous? Like, I'm funnier than everybody. You shouldn't laugh at him too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
just like that wording of it. I mean, maybe you didn't mean it like that, but I don't know.
I looked the article up. It's kind of said like that.
All right, then.
It's
Well,
like a Vulture article.
I'm sure he's a great guy, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's
that's like
fine.
I don't know if that's like the best outlook to have on that.
But I think you can't determine, and you're a producer. You've seen so many, like you've literally seen so many different crowds at this point.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you're in for sometimes at this point, right? Like you don't know how the crowd's gonna react to shit.
Yeah, you don't know until like 5 minutes before the
And
show
when they
starts.
do hook onto something and it kills, you're like, okay, like didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But like, and plus, like you said, comedy's so subjective. Like, it's so random and everything, and you don't know what the audience is gonna do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just wanted to. It's interesting. I brought that up, and I didn't mean to veer off completely like that.
Nah, it's so good.
That's fine, man. But I did it. So wait, how long have you actually been doing comedy for?
4 years.
So only 4 years?
Yeah.
Dude, it sounds like you've been doing it for 10 years.
Feels that way, but definitely not yet.
Oh man. So you're in Brooklyn now, right?
Yeah.
How's the Brooklyn scene? Like, how is it different from Long Island?
Like you can name every like you know pretty much all the Long Island comics for the most part. You
On
know?
my hands, I can name them all.
Yeah, for the most part. There's a lot more in the city. It's like
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's like millions of fucking maybe not millions of comics, but there's definitely a shit ton of comics in the city. So it's kind of like hard to like know everybody, which is fine. You don't need to know everybody, but yeah, I would say that there's a lot more mics. You get shorter time out there in mics. Like there's a lot more like 3-minute mics. And I'm
3 minutes?
Yeah, I was like, I don't even want
That's
to go.
tough.
So I don't even want to do that.
I don't know.
I'm just getting like at this stage in the game. Like I was trying who was talking
5
about.
is nice. 3.
No, even doing 5 nowadays, it's just like it's hard. Not hard, but it's just like I have so much more to say.
Well, you've been doing it longer now, so
Yeah,
you've been writing more and you have more material. There's more stuff you want to try.
Yeah, so like now where I'm at, I want to like start getting like more like 15-minute spots, 10, 15-minute spots.
Yeah, I've been doing 10. I understand that mentality. Yeah, I mean,
that's what's great about
3
it.
minutes? I'm sorry, that's really insane to me.
Not everyone, because there's definitely one that I go to. Like my boy Nardo, he runs one in Bushwick. It's Dollar and a Dream. It's at a jazz bar.
That's a really cool name.
Yeah, it's it's a dope mic. Right? Probably my favorite Brooklyn mic.
Okay.
But
Feel free to plug it on the show. Plug the mic, whatever the fuck.
Not. Yeah, fuck them. No. I honestly can't remember the name of the bar because it's like a really big word I can't pronounce. That's literally why I don't know.
Mephistopheles or some shit like that?
Yeah, something like Orinthus something. Like I can't even like something. It ends with thology. And I just can't like. I can't pronounce
It's one
the
of
word.
those places that ends with thology.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of places. That's like every other bar in Brooklyn is like.
Just type in jazz bar Bushwick and it's like the first one that comes up.
It's probably it's one of those thology places.
Yeah.
So you were saying, go ahead. You were saying, go.
But now that one you get like I think it's like 6, 7.
That's like really nice. That's like if you want to try something out.
But for the most part, it's all like 5-minute mics. But there's so many more of them you can hit. So like you can hit like you get like 3 or 4 in a night. Where out here it's like just one mic a night.
They're all spread out. There is but because like to get to certain, and as well as I do, like because you're on the other end of the island, but it's just like. There's just, if you didn't, thank God you got the mics out in Brooklyn and everything, because if, it's like if you had to drive out to Long Island, it'd be nuts.
Yeah.
It'd be nightmarish. Every time, sometimes I'm just like, I have to drive an hour to get to this mic. And then I get there and I find something, whatever note it is, and I drive an hour home after I did 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the life.
And there's definitely times where I remember when I lived in Hempstead, I would, making the trip out to the city to do like a couple mics. Yeah. And then like, I remember like back in the day when like Creek and the Cave was around.
On Queens?
Yeah, Queens.
Yeah.
You'd go like you'd hit a mic, like you'd probably hit like 3 or 4 mics, and it's like 10 o'clock, and you're like, do I hit one more? And the last one that hits like the Creek and the Cave at like midnight, but it's just like a fucking miserable fucking mic because it's just like it's a bucket mic. You get like fucking a minute and a half or 2 minutes or something stupid like that, and then like every time like every time someone goes up, like someone leaves. Like, you know, it's just like it's it's slowly like dwindling down, and then it's like 2 a.m. You haven't gone up yet, and you're just like, why the fuck am I doing this?
I should have driven home 2 hours ago.
Exactly, but I try not to do that anymore. But yeah,
I don't want to. I mean, you know, it's. I think if you a lot of this is meeting people. If you get an opportunity to take it, it's not. Some people call it skipping in line. I don't think it's skipping in line.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, if you meet somebody and they give you a spot somewhere, like, you know, if you're like, oh, you should come down to the stand or some shit. It's not. It's just like, oh shit, thank God I ran into you, or whatever the fuck.
Just the thing, like, there's no rules to this, man.
That's what I mean. There are no rules, but like, it's just the reason you go to those things. You never know who you're gonna run into at a 2 a.m. mic.
Oh yeah, this game is more about who you know and if someone like likes you more than anything.
Yeah, man. It's about make friends, please.
Yeah, it's pretty much more. That's like the most important part of it.
Make friends, man.
Yeah.
That's why, like, if you're a dick, I don't think like that's why, like, if anytime there's a story, even at a high level, there's a story.
And
about
honestly, like, if I would just say like, whenever someone, I think like the best thing for like a newer comic to do is like add something to the community, like, you know, start a mic or like just do something like that.
Why do this?
Yeah, because it's just like comedy is like an ecosystem. So it's just like, if you just take, then there's just nothing left.
No,
but like you gotta. I think that's why.
I agree, man. Yeah. I really do. I think that's a real positive statement because I think a lot of people. I think there are people who do. I don't know people personally. There's definitely people out there within it that do take, and you know, you do your shows to because there's motherfuckers out there that you think are funny. Yeah. And you want to put them up, and you want to draw a crowd. You know, I'm sure you want to make money doing it too. But there's also like that's one way of giving it back. You run a mic too. You said, right?
Nah,
you used to run a mic.
Yeah, and I used to have like Cousin Craig's. You ever been to that one?
Yeah.
Cousin Craig's back in the day. Damn, shout out Cousin Craig's. It's just like a pirate bar, you know. It's just like
I know Cousin Craig's. I know it's got, doesn't it have like birds on the like the stuffed birds or some shit, like parrots?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't remember, to be perfectly honest. But I used to run a mic there, but then that like stopped. But that stopped. That was a couple years ago. That was even a couple years before COVID. So it was just like it was earlier. That was early on. I guess more recently, me and my boy Chocolate, who I draw like these shows with now.
This guy sounds mad interesting. Who is this guy?
Chocolate Brown. He's my roommate.
Shout him out, yeah.
Roommate, one of my best friends. We throw a show together called Lost Lighters. I met him at it was like a apartment show in like Crown Heights or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And it was just like it was like a dope ass mad people there, and it was really dope. And we're both on the show, and then we became, you know,
that's what we're talking
cool,
about.
Yeah, became cool there, and like he was a musician. I do stand up. We both did our thing. We both did well that night.
Yeah, what was he? You said
just follow each other on Instagram. And then once COVID hit, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I actually invited him to come out for that Doomsday show, and he was a dude.
You didn't know? You said he was playing some funky shit.
Yeah, then he was that dude, and then. I invited him out for another show. Then that was a lot better. And then over COVID, we just started playing like fucking Warzone together, like Call of Duty. And because
you play Call of Duty?
Yeah, Warzone.
All right, I'll get your information later.
Yeah, so
I was looking for people to play with.
Yeah, well, we were playing Warzone together, and then we just became like super tight. We were playing like every night with a group of people, like, you know, we were just squatted up. And you don't have better friends than the friends you play Call of Duty with.
It's pretty true, actually.
Yeah, so
I hate to say it, but like,
yeah, so then one day I was just like, things started opening back up. I did the backyard show. I had him at the backyard show.
Yes. But you were doing stuff during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Or you were trying to do stuff like outside stuff.
No, I did it. I was when COVID happened, I had lost Illwave because you couldn't like.
Yeah, because it was too small of a space.
Not only that, it was already an illegal speakeasy, so during COVID, it
became more illegal.
Yeah, it was more illegal.
This is now super illegal.
Yeah,
oh, man, you should have fucking built it like that.
Yeah, so pretty much it was just like one of those things where I was just like, I'm already not supposed to be doing this. So now, like, COVID happened. Now I'm really not supposed to be. So I was just like, let's quit while I'm ahead. So, because, like, you know,
Yeah, because if you had gotten in trouble, you would have gotten like real trouble.
Yeah, so it was kind of one of those things where I was just like, I'm not. That's, I got what I needed out of that experience, and then it was just time to close the doors on it.
It's an ambitious time in your life, dude.
Yeah, no, it was really
like you're like I just ran into it, and I'm like most people can't. You have ambition, man. I'm just saying, like that's pretty fucking dope of you to kind of just go head first into that.
So thank you, I appreciate that. No, so then when COVID happened, I also was throwing shows at JJ's. It was just like a bar show, and that ended also because you couldn't throw shows anywhere.
Yeah.
So then I have a pretty decent sized backyard at my parents' house, and I was just like, what if I threw a show in my backyard? And then I hit up Mark Norman to like come do the show because at the time like COVID happened.
Was
March.
he working just to try to find gigs?
Yeah, like he's a comedy whore, man. He just loves comedy.
No, yeah, I know. He's great. I love him.
But but the thing about it, I kind of just capitalized at the time. Because I'm sure if I hit him up now to do a show, he'd be like, "Nah,
hey,
fuck
no."
It. Like I'm on Rogan tomorrow. Fucking you queef. Like
$5,000, you queef.
Yeah. So
my horrible Mark Norman impression.
No. So but he was a really cool guy. But anyway, I hit him up to do a show. I was like, it was mad random, but you want to come out to Long Island, not that far in, from the city, from Hempstead to like New York City, it's like a train ride. Yeah, it was like, it's not that bad. I'm not actually to come out to Montauk, but I was like, let's come out. I'll throw you, a couple $100, and it was a Tuesday night, so it wasn't gonna affect like a Saturday gig if we had something out,
But he was just looking for gigs to do.
Yeah, he was looking for stage, and at the time, and then like I had like 80 people, and that was just like not like 80 people came to that show, and I was just like. If COVID happened on like March 2020, like we drew the show like September 2020, so like that was like very like new into COVID. Like we were still like like not allowed to like be like be close to anybody, and I was just throwing this fucking backyard banger at my house. I had like a
80
DJ.
People deep.
Yeah, and it was just like my neighbors hated me after that, but But yeah, no, it was a very just a magical night. That was probably one of my favorite nights of like throwing shows because
Tom Crescenzo had mentioned it, but he said you got to have Rene tell the story. So
yeah, so no, it was a lot of crazy shit happened that night, but like for the most part, it was a good show.
It was like he came down.
Yeah, no, he came and like fucking at the end of the night dropped him off at the train station, and then it was good to go.
Tom told me there was some story that some guy was like, "I'm gonna go up there and say like a bunch of racial slurs."
Okay,
and then like he said it on the podcast. Like he was like,
"No, that was Tom who said the racial slurs." No,
that was Tom.
Yeah,
you're an asshole, Tom.
Yeah, no.
Or he said he was gonna go up there and like antagonize the audience or some shit.
Nah, just I don't want to get too into it. I'm cool with the guy, but like I don't want to put him on the blast. But
Chris, edit this out.
No, I'll tell the story though. But
okay.
This dude, he came a little on it, like on like a little drunk, on the very drunk side. So everyone was getting like 8 minutes, and then Mark Norman was going to do a half hour.
Yeah,
because it's just like I wasn't trying to like drag the show. So
because it's Mark Norman on it.
Yeah, so this dude, he comes and he's just like, "Yo, I'm gonna run the light."
That's what it was. I don't know why I said racial slurs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, this is what's on Tom's mind.
Yeah.
So Mark overhears that, and obviously Mark's trying to get back home at the end of the night. Like he's not trying to like it's like trains and are like every hour. So if he misses his train, he's got to wait another, So So like he overhears the guy saying, he kind of says it like directly in front of Mark too. So that Mark's just like, "The fuck? Like what's the fuck wrong with this?" And then that was a thing that was a subject of discussion on his podcast where he was kind of like ripping on that guy.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't that. I was just like, he's like, I just heard that Tom was like. He was like, please, like Mark Norman Winchell was like, please don't do that. Like, just like
that was it. Yeah, the guy was just like, wait, like, yeah, and again, Mark gets into it. So, like I said, I'm sure you already have listened to it.
No, I haven't. I literally brought you on here to because I didn't want to like go with any pre-notions in it. Tom's like, just ask him cold. So I didn't do any research into it.
No, honestly, I would get your answer from Mark Norman on the. I would have Mark Norman on the show and have him tell the story.
Okay. All right. Dude, I hope that happens, but I don't know if it will.
No, but he has, like I said, he has a podcast about it, and he says like really great things about me in the show. Like he was like, "Yo,"
All right, so I'll put clips of that on the end of this.
yeah, but he gets into what happened with the guy, and I'll let you get that from him.
Okay. As far as producing shit, like when the pandemic happened, like were you, like, is everybody, you know, kind of like everything kind of stopped? Like, what was your mentality? Like, got to do outside stuff
like,
now?
No, because you know, I'm in tune with the people, so like I saw that like people wanted to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so like when I threw the show and it's like, yo, Mark Norman coming in like a backyard in Nassau County.
Yeah, of course.
You know, Nassau
That's
County.
like wacky and cool.
Yeah, so like everybody, like those tickets sold pretty like fast. And then like we sold out on that show. And then
so
like,
did you have tickets for this?
Yeah, I didn't make it like an Eventbrite, but like I had a, yeah.
Yeah, like you had a cutoff.
Uh-huh.
Could you sell out, or were you just like keep them coming in?
Kind of like that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
So it was it was on the tad irresponsible side.
I mean, I did a couple shows afterwards where I'm like, how am I not sick? Like,
yeah, no, I remember I got a lot of shit for it afterwards. Like, kind of people was like it was like irresponsible thing. I remember my uncle was like super pissed at me. Like he was just like on like some it's very irresponsible shit.
Well, I mean, but like at the same time, like I was dying to do. Everybody was dying to do stuff. I
said, like we like so did like I said, 80 people came. I didn't make them come. I wasn't against it.
Yeah, you didn't force anybody to go there. They wanted. You said it. You're in tune with the people.
They wanted to come out. They wanted to do it, and then like I said, it was a backyard show. It was outside, so it wasn't like it was like an enclosed space. Like it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll send you some clips from it.
Send me some clips from it. We can put it on maybe tag it onto the episode or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like put some stuff on it if you want, or I can just watch it in my private time.
Yeah.
If that's what you meant. I don't know why I have to go there every time. Chris, cut all the end of this out.
It's all about the pot.
It's all about the pot. No, but like I would love to see it.
No, it was a generally like positive experience and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure it wasn't like
I mean, that's got to be a big thing for you.
It was a huge thing for me.
Because you produced a show with Mark Norman on it.
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't like, you know, I'm sure it wasn't the end all be all for him. But like, you know what I'm saying? But like, it was great for me and for everybody that was there.
It's a credit that you can say that you did.
I don't even talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring it up. But
no, it's okay. I mean, because that's like, you know, that was a really dope moment. I have pictures that will last a lifetime from that. Tim Thompson hosted it. It was a fucking... it was great. Tim Thompson ended up eating a snail at the end of the night.
Eating a snail?
Yeah, because we were chilling in my backyard.
What the fuck happened? All right, tell me this story.
We were chilling until like 4 a.m. after the show ended because we were just we just pulled off the fucking heist of a century kind of.
Did the show go well overall?
Yeah, everybody killed it. Like the crowd was like... Everyone stayed, like, you know, it was like I said, it was like 80 people deep. They stayed from the beginning of the show, and it ran a little long. I'll just say, like, the show started at 8. Mark Norman was off by 10:30, and then that was the end of the show. So it was like 2.5 hours, which is a kind of long, which is a long show, but it wasn't just stand up; it was like music too.
Oh, okay.
So it was like
2.5 hours isn't bad. Technically, you went 30 minutes long.
I mean, I don't give. Yeah, you know,
like, who cares?
People dig. It was like broken up pretty good. I had like vendors there. It was like a little mini festival, and then Mark Norman like headlined it at the end, and it was dope. Like it was a very positive experience overall, and yeah, I had a good time doing it. Then I did a couple more after that, and then things opened up, and then now I throw shows in the city now, and I've stayed away from backyards.
Yeah, you're not going back. You're not going to throw a backyard show for old time's sake.
You know what's hilarious? My show on Saturdays in the backyard, actually.
Yeah,
because it's a venue, so it's like the venue's in the backyard of the place, so it's kind of like a backyard.
Oh, so it's like an outside area.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Man, you have like a really like your timeline is like very interesting to me, man. And I know I keep bringing this up, but it's like it's just really cool to me that you started comedy on like a whim, and then like 3 months later you were producing or trying to produce shows and like became a producer. You know, like I just like that. Like I just put you in such a like a really neat level and everything, man. And like I guess like moving forward, like what do you? Is there anything that you like hope to put up and everything? Like, is there like I want to like this sounds so. Like, I'm not saying you want to play Fenway Park, but is there anything like different, like anything like different you want to produce or put up? Like, 'cause you do music and comedy, you know. Like,
I mean, you ever heard of like Tiny Desk?
yes, the videos.
Yeah, like the singers or rappers like they're performing like you know like in a
Yes,
little
yes,
apartment
yeah.
thing, you know. I've made like I've like kind of like directed a few of those for like my buddy Chocolate.
No shit.
So like we never released any of those things. Like he has a
No,
lot.
I mean I'm not saying I've seen them. I didn't know that you did any of that stuff.
Yeah, so like
That's why we do this. This is why I have this, so I can get to know you.
Yeah, so I definitely want to. I have like my hand in like that realm of things.
Like film
too.
and stuff like that.
No, just like I want to get more into like I guess like the business side of like music.
Yeah.
Cause I like kind of
Branding.
like, yeah, like just music in general. Like music, I love music, and like to be like I guess involved in like I guess the cause like comedy. Music has its own like you know community too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Similar but different.
It's very similar. It's very fact music and like especially rapper like doing.
So many rappers want to be comedians. So many.
In a sense,
isn't Ti
yeah.
doing comedy now?
Yeah, I mean Dia can do whatever he wants, man. But
He's king of South.
yeah, he yeah. Oh fuck! What was off my
Sorry, I
train
didn't
of
mean to
thought?
throw you off with my Ti thing.
Yeah, no, just Rubber Band Man was just in my head. Then
It's a good song. Fuck, I might listen to that later.
Yeah, that should be the outro to this.
I wish, man. If I was on Sirius, dude, I would have brought you in a Wu-Tang Clan playing, but alas, I cannot bring the ruckus.
Yeah. Shit. What was I just saying?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean this.
No, it's fine. It's just
you were talking about how you wanted to get into the branding, the business side of stuff, which is something that a lot of people who are like really talented just don't know a lot about.
Yeah, no, I just kind of I like the behind the scene things. I love throwing shows. I always wanted to like get into like throwing like festivals and stuff like that, like being just like the organization of it. Like aside from like just like fucking wanting to do stand up and like take that to as far as I can take it and just get better and like
obviously,
you know all that stuff like that. But I definitely pursue a lot of different endeavors.
Okay.
Other than stand up,
Yeah, you
and
like
then
entrepreneurial, if the word is.
and then sometimes that does bring like a hindrance to stand up itself because like you know stand up
eggs in one basket.
Yeah, or like you know sometimes I have to ignore stand up for you know like for a little bit just to work on other things.
Yeah.
And so it's cool, but like I guess my original point was I feel like pretty good to like have like a hand in both comedy and in like the music world.
I think that's good too.
Yeah.
I mean, number one, I mean you're right. I mean, especially you are a producer, so like that makes sense. To like have
you know like as a producer, like a lot of comics hit me up to like send me like you know tapes like here's a 5 minutes, here's my
check
credits.
my tape out.
I get a lot of those.
Yeah.
And
same thing with music, right?
No, but I also get a lot of that with music too. Like a lot of people
like mixtapes.
A lot of people are just like, yo, like I see you at your comedy music show. If you ever need music act, here's my stuff too. So I get that for both.
So that would be really cool. So your goal, like that, you're basically saying you'd like to do a festival, music, comedy, kind of, but like do like a real festival.
Yeah, I guess I want to run like a fucking comedy music death row, pretty much, like kind of thing.
Dude, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I want to make T-shirts with you on. Like, that's a good idea. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, and that's what like I guess Big Chuckles is.
I like I was gonna say I like your logo. And how did you come up with that logo? Where'd you come up with Big Chuckles?
I drew it on a bar napkin.
You just drew like that's how they came up with the Ninja Turtles. That's literally how. So that's cool.
I drew it. Yeah, I drew it on a bar napkin, and I gave it to this girl Sandy, who's awesome. She finessed it, and she made the Big Chuckles logo. It's like a big Buddha. The original idea was a SoundCloud comedian.
Okay.
So I wanted to draw, but like I like the idea of like a laughing Buddha. So like
that's cute.
I drew like a big fat bald guy with just covered in tattoos. Like he has like the word LAFF like tatted under his eyes, and like fucking like he has covered in tattoos. So that was just kind of like a tatted up fat laughing Buddha. That's like the logo.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I've never made merch for it. I have like random pieces of merch. Like I have this hat, Big Chuckles hat, but like I just the only one.
Yeah, I've been like, 'cause I'm trying to get a logo for the show, and
Yeah.
I was like, do I like, am I gonna make merch, or am I just gonna have the one shirt that I wear? Like,
It's good to just have it and
Yeah.
like just give it out.
It's a
to
cool-
I
it's
got like stickers, a bunch of stickers from. I'll give you.
definitely give me a sticker.
Yeah, I got
love
you.
stickers. I'm a stoner. I put stickers on everything.
No facts. So I definitely have that. But yeah, and then like Lost Lighters, it's like another.
Yeah, I wanted
endeavor.
to talk to you about. We got time left. I want to talk to you about your Lost Lighters show and everything. Like, how I love the title. How'd you come up with that?
Again, I do that with my boy Chocolate Brown, and
Shout out Chocolate Brown, man. You got a cool fucking name.
he. We when we started throwing shows together, we were just kind of going back and forth with names, and then we came up with the name Lost Lighters. Like we gave each other like a bunch of like we went like back and forth like 8 times
really
with a
hits
bunch
me.
with like a bunch of shitty names, and then like
That's not a shitty name. It's a great name.
I know, but then like it took a couple shitty names to get to Lost Lighters, and then we were just like, yo, let's do this, and then Lost like the flyers for Lost. I love flyers. I think that's like a very important thing about the show. So like I go in on my flyers.
Nice.
With the shows, like I always like reach out to someone and like
Like a graphic designer.
yeah, I'll just like yo, like I'll pay for it, like yeah, and I'll like yo, just finesse this. Like here's my idea, just finesse it. So like one of my earlier shows, like the High Mom show I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
One of the it's like I drew the show with like 2 other people, so it's like me and those 2 other people as like caricatures,
Little cartoons.
little cartoons,
Yeah.
and we're being like rolled into a blunt by Big Chuckles.
That's awesome. I think I did see this on Facebook. I remember seeing this image.
It was the 420 show we drew back in the day. That was the 3rd High Mom show.
I feel like you reposted it because I remember seeing the image of this on Facebook or some
Yeah,
shit.
no, it was just Korean girl.
That's really cool.
Again, homegirl Sandy, she fucking finesses it.
Shout out Homegirl Sandy.
Yeah.
She like, you plug her stuff. If you need a graphic designer, Homegirl Sandy.
Yes. I don't even know her Instagram on top of my head, but
I'm
like.
just saying. Ask him. You see Renee, ask about Homegirl Sandy.
Yeah, no, 9 out of 10 times if I see someone like post like I need a graphic, I always recommend her.
Yeah, I recommend Chris. Chris is my graphic designer.
Nice.
So like, your Sandy is my Chris.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
We're more alike than you realized.
But
go ahead.
but I always like outsourcing. Like I try to use a bunch of different like artists, and I've had to use a bunch of different artists to make like flyers.
That's
too.
cool. I like
so, and that's also I guess like a little bit like a humble brag is I love like generating enough of like the show to like be able to like divvy it up and like pay people and shit like that. Like like because then like
That's
fucking
really good to know.
yeah, because then like the show it's not just it. I think it's not just for me. It's like feeds a community of people. You know, what
Dude,
I'm
your
saying?
vibe is good. I just want to say that, like, because you're right. A lot of people do take, and there are people out there that do take.
And honestly, I was like, I'm a little guilty of that too. I remember when I first started doing like stand up, and I was throwing the O-Wave thing.
You're also paying for the space, though.
Yeah, but but I've definitely thrown a bunch of shows where I profited and I didn't pay anybody. But like I said, I was doing that. But sometimes like I've learned from that just because I wanted to be like better than that.
Yeah.
And again, like at that time, I was like doing it all just to generate bread to like pay for the place. But these days, like I have a job now that pays. I do pretty okay, so like I don't need to like hustle stand up to like make ends meet right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I have a day job.
Yeah.
I have a day job, and I feel like once I stopped doing that for because early on I was doing stand up literally for the attention of making the most amount of money I could make.
Yeah.
And with like the shows and stuff like that, because I would have like vendors and I would be in charge of the bar. Like it's a lot of different. It's the whole hustle. And nowadays, I don't do all that anymore.
Okay.
Like I don't, I'm not that in like I said, when I draw a show, like there's multiple moving parts to it, and each part is like its own independent like venture.
Yeah, of course.
So it's more enjoyable that way because then you're not doing it for the end. Obviously, everyone wants to make bread, but like you're more doing it because like you want to do a good job. Not because like you want to like.
We want your product. It's a product that you have. You want your product to be good. I'd
rather throw a great show and make like no profit off of it than like throw a shitty show and make like $100.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if you have a shitty show, no one's gonna come back.
Yeah.
But if you have a good show and a couple people show up, and you throw that show, you do another one. They're like, oh, this guy showed. There wasn't a lot of people there, but there's a lot. This was a good show. We're gonna go to this one again, and then more people show up.
Yeah.
I would think that that's at least part of the mindset of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, man. I wish I had the balls to do it. I've always wanted, like, that's the thing. Like I admire the spirit to go out there and figure out. I mean, you like music, but then figure out that we're gonna do this, that, and I like the idea that you try to pay people because I feel like a lot of people don't. Not people I know personally. But
I'm not giving people life-changing money, but I'm like, yeah,
$10 puts gas in cars, man.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah.
I know, it'll get you if you can get me from
like you're
point A to
still
point
gonna
B.
be broke after I'm doing my show, but you can buy yourself like
I'm not
lunch
saying it's
the next day. Yeah,
I'm saying I'm saying that you like to give homeless people sandwiches. You're not bringing them into it, like you're not giving them a job, but
yeah.
But that's good, man. Coming down to the end of the show, but fuck, I actually just thought of 5 more things. I gotta have you back on.
No, I guess this comes out next Monday, right?
Comes out next Monday,
So,
unless you call me and say don't put that shit up.
No, so Lost Sliders is this Saturday. It's gonna.
Oh yeah, plug your shit, man. Go ahead.
It's gonna already happen when you guys hear this, but it was a great time. You should have been there. But the next thing that you can come to, and I imagine you have a good Long Island base that listens to you guys.
I hope so.
Yeah, but
Hi, base.
I have a show in One Eye Jack's on the 20th, and it's a biscuit eating contest.
Nice.
So it's like the idea is it's a music comedy thing. So one of my buddy Crack Jesus, who's a rapper, his name's Crack Jesus,
awesome.
Great guy. He made like a viral video where he ate like 12 Popeye biscuits, no drink.
No, I can't do that. I could do like 2.
Yeah. So we had him on.
That's crazy.
I had him on like a show thing I did, and we were talking about it, and I had this other comedian Ronnie Smith on it, and we were talking about like him doing that, and then like it just jokingly just through conversation, I was just like, yo, you should throw a biscuit eating contest, and then Ronnie should host it, and then we were just like, yeah. So then like the other day, literally a week ago, I just texted Crack, and I was just like, I can call him Crack, we're cool like that. I texted Crack, and I was like, yo, dude.
Yo, Crack.
I was like, yo, Crack, you trying to do that biscuit eating contest show? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. So now it's happening. It's on,
Dope.
Yeah, it's,
plug the shit out of it.
It's at One Eye Jack's August 20th. So, like, each comic, they have to eat 3 biscuits, no water, and then do their set.
Nice.
And then,
like right beforehand, do you do like the wing thing?
You gotta eat the biscuit, and then as you do your set, but then like no water. You have to like get through your set.
Just try, like okay, so I can just power. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
At least it's not the cheddar biscuits from fucking Red Lobster.
Yeah.
That would be completely impossible.
No, it's a Popeyes biscuits.
Not better, not fucking better. Like
Yeah.
I remember being ambitious one time and getting like a box of them and eating like.
I can throw down on some fucking Red Lobster biscuits.
You can the cheddar ones.
You ever bought the at home one to make at home?
No, but I want to. I look at them all the time when I gotta buy them.
I bought one and I'm just like I'm terrible at baking. So like I try to make one and you line them up, try to make like 12 on a tray.
Dude, I was gonna like wind up, but this is great. Go ahead.
It just morphed into one giant fucking.
You had one giant biscuit?
Yeah, one giant biscuit, and it didn't look anything like how the Red Lobster biscuit, because you know how they're kind of like.
They're like fluffy and round.
Yeah,
and they look like a muffin almost.
This thing was like super puffy, and it just wasn't what a Red Lobster biscuit is, but it tasted exactly like it.
But you just had like a cake, like a cheddar biscuit cake.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would you do like cut little sections of it out and eat it like a pie?
Yeah, it just got really high and ate it.
You're my hero, Rene. That's the clip that we're gonna fucking put around. That's like. I do walk around King Cullen. I stop and look at it, and I'm just like, is this the day? Is this the day where I buy this and go fucking go ham on biscuits at home? I know I should. I end up buying the Grands instead because you can make little Cinnabons at home.
I got you. Now you gotta live a little.
Man,
so.
I'm gonna take your advice because you're I don't know. Your energy's fucking sweet-o.
I appreciate that.
I feel like
man.
I climbed a mountain to come talk to you. Like that's the vibe you give off. Is there any shows you want to plug besides the Lighters one?
Just the biscuit eating show.
Dude, calm down. I'll be there.
It's called Risk It for the Biscuit.
Nice.
I got Was Andrew Bergen's on it, Miles Toe, Lawrence Reese, a couple city guys. And then Ronnie Smith hosting it. I'm on it too, so I'm also going to be. I'm not going to make people do this and then not do it myself. You know,
yeah, come on, you got to do it.
That'd be pretty dick.
If you're the only guy, it's like I'm not going to do the bit. This is my show. I don't have to do the biscuit show. I'm just going to do my comedy.
Yeah, it's like probably choke on eating these like dry ass biscuits. And then, God, you know. And then not do it. Yeah, I can't do that. The captain has to go down to the ship. You know.
No, you got to choke along with everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you're filming a porno, you should take a shot in the mouth just like everybody else.
Exactly.
That didn't really work in my head, but you know, whatever. Anything else you want to plug, man?
Just listen to Millennial Stoner.
Aw, this sweet man that I'm going to have on 8,000 more times because he likes me. I like him. He's great. Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, man.
A couple things to plug real quick right now. I'm actually tomorrow. This is going to come out on Monday, but tomorrow I'm going to be at Gotham's Comedy Club. So next week I'll let you know how that went. If I'm really sad and want to quit comedy, we'll find out.
With next week's guest.
That's next week. Next week's guest is to be determined. I think it's Mandy Jones.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's cool.
To be determined, I think. I think I'm waiting to hear back from our guest, actually. Yes, I am waiting to hear back from our guest. So I don't. We'll find out who the guest is when I find out.
You ever do a Dolo one?
I did. I started doing a Dolo one.
Yeah.
Because Chris was like, just go. And I just did it. And then I was like, I hate doing it by myself. Because when I'm by myself, I just get high and I talk about like Batman and shit that no one gives a shit about.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, this man's being real sweet to me right now.
People like Batman.
What's that?
People like Batman.
People do like Batman. I mean, you want to talk about branding and being on brand. Batman knows his brand. It's literally in the sky. You know what? I can't figure my plugs out. Go on, find me on fucking Instagram. You know you can find my plugs? Go on Instagram. I got a bunch of shows coming up. I do know that the next time I'm going to be at Gotham Comedy Club is August 29th. Before that, I'm going to be at Mohican Sun the Thursday, August 25th. And I'm actually going to be at McGuire's August. I'm doing it backwards. This helps. August 19th, I'm going to be at McGuire's. That's the late show. It's 10:30. That's a great lineup. Keith Fairfax is on that, who I'm going to get on the show eventually. The guy who I do his podcast with Fairfax with him sometimes. And then August 5th, I'm going to be in Milton, Pennsylvania with Fat J, Joe Crivello, my big friend Billy Geyer, and Dan LaRocca.
Solid squad.
Yeah, solid fucking squad. Great. I love Crivello and those guys. And we call them the Tight Pants Crew. They're great. Fat J's like adopted them too. Like all the pictures with him, it looks like an uncle like taking his kids out to the zoo and shit.
He stole them.
It looks like he stole them. And on that note, we're gonna end. Dude, thank you so much for doing this. I hope you had fun. I did.
I had a great time. Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna have you back on shit. And anytime you see a Big Chuckles promotion, go check it out. Anybody who's listening in Brooklyn and shit like that, come check out his shit. He's always got good shows being produced. Thank you for coming. Tune in, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell the world. All right, Joe Winchell out.